everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I'm bringing you a first impressions video, but this is going to be the Manga Pride Readathon Host Faves edition Manga First Impressions video. So I picked up a few volumes of manga for the Manga Pride Readathon. If you watched my May manga haul, you will know what I picked up. But I have 3 first in a series volumes that corresponds to each of the Manga Pride Readathon host phase lists, which were included in the readathon announcement videos. And I thought that I would just read each of these volumes and give you my immediate first impressions on them, since I only have 1 volume of each of these series. And I thought it would be something a little different to what I bring as far as first impressions videos. So the 3 volumes that I have are Escape Journey by Ogaretsu Tanaka. This one is published by Sublime and is rated mature. You can see it is still in the plastic. I saw this one on Dylan's channel. This was on his favorites list. And then I have Cherry Magic, 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard. This one is by Yu Toyota and is by Square Enix manga, rated mature. This one I saw on Rachel's host faves list, and it was also on Bizarre Individuals faves list. The last one I have is 10 Count. This one is story and art by Rihito Takarai. This one is published by Sublime, rated mature again. You can see that it's still in plastic, and I got this one off Bizarre Individuals favorites list. So I'm very curious about these 3 series, and I am going to jump in this order: Escape Journey first, then Cherry Magic, and then 10 Count. And I will read the volume and come back and give you my thoughts on them before I jump into the next one. So I'm going to jump into Escape Journey right now, and I will be back with you in a bit. So I just finished Escape Journey Volume 1. This is a second chance romance story about Nao and Taichi, and they get into a huge fight at the beginning of this volume. They're in high school, and then they break up. And then a couple years later in college, they meet up again, and Nao is trying to decide whether or not he wants to just be friends with Taichi, or if he wants something more out of that relationship, even though history has shown that they don't do well past friends. Their relationship was always rocky once they crossed that line from friends to lovers, and so this volume kind of explores not only what happened back in high school, but it also explores both of them growing as individuals after their relationship in high school and then now in the present day. So I was very surprised when I finished this volume that it was actually a first in a series. Had I not had like the cover to this volume, I would have thought this was a one-shot. I was very comfortable with where the story ended. I was comfortable with the journey that this volume took me on, and I truthfully wouldn't have expected anything more out of this series. So knowing that there are 2 additional volumes in this series, I'm really interested to see where the story goes from here. Like I said, this does feel like a one-shot to me, and I enjoyed where the story went. There is a scene of non-consent in here, which Dylan thankfully let me know of ahead of time, and I was greatly appreciated. So I was prepared for that, and I just also want you to be prepared for that in case you are interested in reading this volume, and that might be a trigger for you. But yeah, I enjoyed this volume, and I am looking forward to continuing with it. I did try to get the other 2 volumes when I got this one. However, they are just not available right now, and I have no idea when they're going to be back in stock, but I will be purchasing them and continuing with the series when I do get a chance to. So that was a very good start to this reading vlog kind of first impressions video. It does definitely feel more like one of those try a chapter tags that is so popular on BookTube. Instead of being just a chapter, I am trying a volume from the series. So far so good. One series that I'm definitely going to be continuing. So the next series I'm going to jump into is going to be Cherry Magic. 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard, and I am looking forward to this one as well. I believe there is a live action drama adaptation that I've seen floating around, so if I enjoy this, I'm probably going to be checking that adaptation out as well. So I'm going to jump into this volume and I'll be back with you in a bit. So I just finished volume 1 of Cherry Magic. 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard. This one was super hilarious. I thoroughly enjoyed this read. This one is about Adachi, and he turns 30, is a virgin, and discovers that he can suddenly hear what people are thinking if he touches them. And then he finds out that his co-worker is in love with him. So it's a story about him kind of figuring out how he feels about that and trying to navigate that while at the workplace. And I thought that the scenes in here were super funny. This particular volume was very clean. There was nothing explicit in it, though there is a parental advisory on the front cover of this one. So I presume there is going to be some explicit content in future volumes, but this one, it had none, and I thought it was super cute. And like I said, I did find it quite funny, and I think I will be continuing with this one for sure. So I am looking forward to seeing how they bring this to a live action drama, and now I'm very curious to see how that goes as well. I'm not sure if I want to watch that though, just with the little bit of story that I got in this volume, because I feel like it might be a little bit too spoilery. I think there are an additional 2 volumes out of this at the moment, so what I'll probably do is pick up those 2 volumes and see where we're at, and then see how I feel about starting the drama then. It is on Crunchyroll, I did check, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing with this one as well. So that's 2 for 2 so far. I'm enjoying both of the host picks that I've read so far. So now I've only got 1 left. I'm going to jump into 10 count, and I will be back with you in a bit. So I just finished reading 10 count volume 1. In this one we follow Shirotani, who is a germaphobe and has OCD, and on his first day on the job, his boss gets saved by Kurose, and Kurose happens to be a counselor. He immediately recognizes that Shirotani is a germaphobe, and he also sees that it's pretty severe. So he suggests that he should get some help for that, medical help, see a doctor, and Shirotani decides that this might be a good idea, so he goes to a hospital, medical facility, and tries to get an appointment, and he runs into Kurose outside. It just happens to be Kurose's day off, and so they decide to go and have a sit-down chat at a coffee house place, and Kurose suggests this 10-step program, and so he kind of helps facilitate this healing journey, I guess, for Shirotani, not as his actual counselor though, more as a friend helping Shirotani out. So this first volume kind of follows them going through the first steps, and the 10 steps aren't like a set, like preset steps. They're steps that Kurose has Shirotani write down of things that he thinks that he might be able to do but wouldn't like to, and then to the most severe thing that he absolutely doesn't think that he could do. So like the first thing being like touching the door handle of this coffee house without sanitizing it and without his gloves on, because Shirotani wears gloves so that he's not directly touching things. So like things like that, and then to whatever his most absolutely I don't think I can do this thing would be. But so far this volume, okay, let me back up. To be honest, this is the volume that I was very unsure about. I had heard a lot of things about this series, and it was a series that I wasn't too sure that I would want to get into. But since it was on Bazaar's list of favorite manga, I decided to check it out because I do trust Bazaar's opinion, and we do have kind of similar tastes, so things that he likes I tend to like. So that's what led me to pick this volume up. This volume, even though it was wrapped in plastic, was very clean. So I am interested in Shirotani's journey. It's most interesting for me to see Shirotani go through the steps and see what he can and cannot end up handling. He's definitely more adventurous about trying these steps than I thought he'd be. I expected more of him having difficulty with the steps, but in this volume it doesn't seem like he's having that much difficulty. We do see him struggle a little bit, but I expected a little bit more in that department. And so, yeah, I'm still unsure about this series. I will probably pick up one more volume and see how I feel about that. And yeah, so even though this wasn't as good as the other two volumes that I read, I am most surprised I will be giving this one another volume, because like I said, this was the series that I really didn't think was going to be one that I'd read any more of, just based on what I have heard of from this series from others. So yeah, surprisingly interesting that I do want to explore this one a little bit more, but I am very happy with the results of this like try a volume first impressions video, and I found a few more series that I'd be interested in continuing, so that's always great. I also don't think that I mentioned this at the beginning, but I've not read a lot of BL, and I've definitely not read explicit BL before, so this was definitely an experience. And yeah, so I'm very happy with these three. Thank you to the hosts of the Manga Pride Readathon for putting out your favorites lists and letting me try these series that I probably wouldn't have tried if I had not heard about them from you. So that's pretty much all I have to say about these today. Let me know if you've read this series and what you thought of them, or if you'd be interested in reading them now that you've heard a little bit more about them. If you've made it to the end of this video, please leave me an orange heart emoji down in the comments below. That would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out, and that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye!